Hi my friends, welcome to channel English Professionally, and I know that lots of students have lots of problems with English prepositions, and this video is for you, English prepositions with verbs. And basically, you just need to know this information, I think so, to speak English correctly and fluently, if it comes to these kind of prepositions. Alright? Good. So you see, if you have a verb, differ, we use it with from. For example, his opinion differs from mine. So let me type it for you. I think you don't mind it, okay? So his opinion differs from mine. Or from my opinion. It means that his opinion is different from mine or differ. So differ is a verb here. So his opinion differs from mine. Or, for example, his style of teaching English differs from mine. So good, that's clear. So let's talk about for and the verbs which we need to use with for. So remember, my friend, wait for. For example, wait for me. Okay? Others don't know, but students often forget about for. Wait for me, okay? Or you can say, for example, I'm waiting for your next lessons with impatience. I'm waiting. So it's present continuous. For your next lessons with impatience. So what is impatience? It means that you can't wait, you're so impatient, so you don't have patience. So with impatience, I'm waiting for your next lessons with impatience. Okay, my friend, very good. Well, so what about blame? So it's rather difficult. So we mostly say blame for, but of course there are exceptions. So blame for. So I blame her for it. I blame her for it. And you need to remember this structure. So blame someone for something. Blame someone for something. I blame her for it. But no, my friend, there is another structure. So when we say blame something on someone, so blame something on someone, alright? And so I will say it this way. I blame it on her. I blame it on her. Compare, my friend. So you see, blame her for it, because it's the first structure. Blame someone for something. And I blame it on her. So we have on because it's the second structure. Blame something or blame it on her. It's a very tricky question indeed, but anyway, just try to memorize it. Okay, so prepare for. It's a very common verb. Okay? So I'm preparing for this test. For example, okay? Good. So I am preparing for this test, or not test, or for this exam. It's also possible. I'm preparing for this test or for this exam. Okay, very good. Or pay for. For example, don't worry, I'll pay for you. Okay, so don't worry, be happy, right? So don't worry, I'll pay for you. Really? How often do you pay for other people? It's interesting to know that. So don't worry, I'll pay for you. Okay, just let's revise it shortly. So his opinion differs from mine. Wait for me. Good. I'm waiting for your next lessons with impatience. So blame someone for something. I blame her for it. and blame something on someone. I blame it on her. So I'm preparing for this test, I'm preparing for this exam. So don't worry, I'll pay for you. So next, listen to, listen to. Listen to me, listen to me. Listen to me. Or I'd like to ask you this question. Do you like listening to music? Do you like listening to music? Really, do you like listening to music? Belong to and lead to. Okay. So this house belongs to me. So if I say this house belongs to me, it means it's my house. It's my house. Or I own. I own. So you know that actually own is a verb too. So I own. I own this house. It belongs to me. So we say belong to. Yeah? Good. And lead to. Right. For example, it can lead to a very bad situation. It can lead to a very bad situation. So it means that it can happen soon. A very bad situation lead to. So a very bad situation will be this result. Well, so what's next? Of. So we say approve of or disapprove of. For example, I approve of this decision. I approve of this decision. Or you can say I disapprove. So I approve of this decision. It means, yeah, okay, it's normal. So if you say I disapprove of this idea, it means that you don't like it. So it isn't okay for you. Okay, I disapprove of this idea. Next, accuse of. All right, so he was accused of murder. He was accused of murder. It means that other people said that he had killed someone. So accused of murder. He was accused. Other people accused him. So said some very negative things connected with crime. So he was accused of murder. So other people said that he had killed someone. Yeah, it's terrible. So it's a very negative verb. Yeah. So criminals are often accused. So we accuse criminals. So people who committed a crime. So he was accused of murder. So it's passive voice. So consist of. Okay. So the book consists of 4 chapters. The book consists of 4 chapters. It means there are 4 chapters in the book. Or the book has 4 chapters, so consists of. Okay, let's revise it shortly. So listen to me. Do you like listening to music? This house belongs to me. So it's my house. I own this house. It can lead to a very bad situation. I approve of this decision. Or I disapprove of this idea. He was accused of murder. The books, so consists, if it's one book, so the book, one book. So if the book consists of 4 chapters, it's a very important thing, So if you have many books, you need to correct it. So the books consist. So but I think that we are talking about one book, so the book consists of 4 chapters, So please be careful, my friend. Okay, the book consists of 4 chapters. Good. So what else do we need to say? A few words about on. So it says spend on. I don't know, but students often use this verb incorrectly. So I often hear this thing. I spent Or, you know, I spent so much time for English. I spent so much time for English. Or I spent so much money for English. But my friend, you need to remember, say spend on. And you need to say, I spent so much time on English. Or I spent so much money on it. Spend on. It's a very common mistake. Blame on, so we have already talked about it. So sometimes we use blame for and blame on. So it depends on a structure. Congratulate on, really, my friends, a very common verb. So I'd like to congratulate you on passing the exam, for example. Okay, I'd like to congratulate you on something or on doing something, on passing the exam. Okay, just I think it's better, on passing the exam. Okay, I'd like to congratulate you on passing the exam, on doing something or on something. Okay, so successfully, of course. Yeah, good. I'd like to congratulate you on passing the exam. Well, depend on. So students make lots of mistakes, yes, related to this verb. So they say it depends and they forget to use, on. But you need to use it depends on me. It depends on me. It depends on you. So I just don't know. But students always say, or almost always say from. It's incorrect. Only on. It depends on me. It depends on you. Yeah, so it's in your hands. Yeah, so for example, I can say your success depends on you. So it's in your hands. So you determine your future. So depend on. Good. And succeed in. So a very important verb too. For example, I succeeded in persuading her. I succeeded, so double, don't remember, double C, I succeeded in doing something, in persuading her. It means I managed to persuade her, Maybe it was difficult, but I did it anyway. So I succeeded in doing it. So I managed, I really persuaded her. So maybe she had another opinion, but so I had a talk with her, I had a conversation, and she changed her opinion, yes, and she decided to do what was interesting for me, yeah? Good. So I succeeded in persuading her. So succeeded in, my friend, remember it. So what about arrive? Yeah, arrive, yeah? It's also a very tricky verb. So we say arrive in. So I arrived in, for example, I arrived in London. So, or I arrived in, India. I arrived in India. So if it's a big place or if it's a big city, we use arrive in. If it's a small place, like at the airport, I arrived at the airport. So you need to use at the airport. I arrived at the party. So I arrived at the conference. So if it's a small place, we use at. And remember these phrases: arrive at the airport, arrive at the party, conference, yeah? If it's about a city or a town, you need to use arrive in. Okay, good. So I arrived in London, I arrived in India. Yeah, and one more very important preposition, yeah? Yeah, I think that it should be much bigger, yeah, like this one at least. So into. We need to say translate into, from into. So I translated it. I translated it into Spanish. Sí, hablo el español perfectamente bien, sí. Yes, I speak English, yeah, really well. Yeah, not perfectly, but bien, muy bien. Gracias, amigos. Thank you, my friends. So I translated it into Spanish. So as you know, estudié el español en mi escuela. So actually, I studied Spanish at school. Yeah. Good. So I translated it into Spanish. So into. Or you can say, for example, I translated it from one language into another. From English. I translated it from English into Spanish. So remember, many students say in but not in. So actually it's a common rule, into. I translated it from English into Spanish, from Spanish into English, from Russian into English, and so on, from French into English, and so on, really. Okay, just let's revise it shortly. So spend so much time on English. Why not? So it's a good idea. I'd like to congratulate you on passing the exam. It depends on me, on you. I succeeded in persuading her. I arrived in London in India. I arrived at the airport, at the party, at the conference. I translated it from English into Spanish. And really, how often do you translate from your language or from your mother tongue into English? So you know that it's a very good speaking practice. So you need to do it, yeah, if you really want to start thinking in English. Okay, my friend, keep this information in mind if you want to speak English fluently and correctly. And I wish you good luck. Bye-bye.